Yeah, and I think I got one.
हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू द लेक्चर 2 ऑफ पॉजिटिव अल्फा। नाउ जैसे कि मैंने बोला था पिछले सेशन में कि वील बी कवरिंग द सम ऑन कैलकुलेटर इन दिस लेक्चर एंड इट इज वेरी इजी। सो यू कैन सी राइट इन फ्रंट ऑफ योर आईज द BA 2 प्लस प्रोफेशनल कैलकुलेटर। नाउ देयर आर टू वर्जन्स ऑफ दिस कैलकुलेटर विच आर अवेलेबल। एक होता है आपका BA 2 प्लस एंड दूसरा होता है BA 2 प्लस प्रोफेशनल। सो लेट अस स्टार्ट। जो प्रीवियस वाले सेशन में जो मैंने सम लिया था वही सेम सम मैं आज कवर करूंगा, बस दिस टाइम आई विल बी डूइंग इट ऑन द कैलकुलेटर, शोइंग यू द कैलकुलेशंस। नाउ बिफोर दैट आप लोग थर्ड लाइन पे देख सकते हैं NIY PV PMT एंड FV एक पूरा एक रो बना हुआ है। सो दिस रो इज बेसिकली द 5 पैरामीटर्स व्हिच वी एंटर टू फाइंड द वैल्यू ऑफ द बॉन्ड। अब तक आप शायद समझ ही गए होंगे, every time you enter any of the 4 variables of this, the 5th one you can find. Okay, so at any point of time you need the 4 variables to be able to find the 5th one, that is the missing variable, and that is how we'll be doing all the sums of the bond valuation. Okay, you can see on your screen on the third row the 5 parameters for bond valuation. So these are our 5 variables and I'll show you how to insert each of them. It is not really much difficult. So just let us begin with the sum that we had done in the previous one. Okay. So the sum that we had took in the previous session had the following variables. Okay. So we had a 3-year 2.5% semi-annual payment bond having a par value of 100 million and it was currently priced at JPY 98175,677. Okay, just let me write down that, associating it with each of the different variables. So we had a 3-year bond which was a semi-annual payment bond. Okay, so N will be equal to 6. Now in the previous equation we are supposed to solve for R. R was nothing but the required rate of return. So when I say the required rate of return, it is also talking about the YTM. Now the YTM on the calc is nothing but IY, and we'll put it as question mark because that is what we are finding. The bond is currently priced at JPY 98,175,677, correct? So that is our PV. So let us put that as PV. And we had been given that it is a 2.5% semi-annual payment bond. Now the important part is payment is basically 2.5% of 100 million, or is it 1.25%? It is 1.25%. What is the reason for the same? I had explained in the previous lecture that in the question IY for the bond or the coupon payments for the bond are always stated in terms of stated annual, but it is our duty to convert it into the semi-annual or the quarterly depending upon what has been mentioned in the concerned question, correct? So because it has been given as 2.5% but it is a semi-annual payment bond, so we'll have to divide it by 2 before using it for our calculation purposes. So effectively payment is 1.25% every 6 months, correct? The FV is 100 million. Now let us just put all these numbers into the calc and let us look what value does it throw to us and does it match to the answer that we had got in the previous section. Okay, so सबसे पहले I'll press 6 and I'll put it equal to N. Okay, I'll just have to press N. So N is equal to 6. Next is we are having PV is equal to 98175,677. I'll just convert it into millions. So what I'll do is 98.175677. This is basically 98.175677 in millions, and we'll put it into present value. Now here is a small twist that we'll have to be careful about. Whatever sign you give to the present value, an opposite sign of that has to be given to PMT and to FV while you enter it into the calc. Now let me put it into a more logical manner so that it becomes a habit for you. Let us think that you bought the bond paying the present value of the bond, correct? That is the price it is trading for in the market. So that will be 98.175 million. Now that is the price that you are paying for investing in that bond or for obtaining that bond, correct? But the point is that the PMT and the FV are basically the coupon payments and the face value of the bond which you will basically be redeeming at the maturity. So PMT and FV is something that you're receiving for investing in the bond, but PV is basically the amount of money that you pay for buying the bond, correct? So you can see a difference over here that 98.1756 million is the amount that you pay to invest in the bond, whereas FA and PMT is the money that you receive from the bond. So it is opposite. One you are paying and one you are receiving. So in the calculator, we have to just take care of the fact that अगर हम 98.175 को पॉजिटिव साइन से डाल रहे हैं तो पीएमटी और एफवी को हमें नेगेटिव साइन से डालना है, या वाइस वर्सा. अगर आप पीवी को नेगेटिव साइन देके डाल रहे हो तो पीएमटी और एफवी को पॉजिटिव साइन देना, बट बी वेरी केयरफुल कि दोनों को आपने ऑपोजिट साइन दिया, मतलब पीएमटी एफवी को एक साइन एंड पीवी को एक साइन, अदरवाइज आपका आंसर रॉन्ग ही आएगा. मैंने यहाँ पे पीवी को क्या साइन दिया, 98.1756 मिलियन, तो आई हैव टिल नाउ एंटर्ड ओनली पॉजिटिव साइन. तो पीएमटी और एफवी को हम ऑटोमेटिकली नेगेटिव साइन दे देंगे, करेक्ट? सो व्हाट विल बी आवर पीएमटी विल बी 1.25% of your 100 million, that is FV. आपका जो PMT होता है वो हमेशा परसेंटेज कूपन पेमेंट ऑफ द फेस वैल्यू ऑफ द बॉन्ड होता है. तो 1.25% ऑफ 100 मिलियन कितना होता है, 1.25 मिलियन. सो विल जस्ट पुट 1.25 एंड हमें इसे नेगेटिव साइन देना है. नेगेटिव साइन किधर है, सबसे बॉटम लाइन में. अगर आप देखोगे वहां पे प्लस और माइनस का एक सिंबल बना हुआ है, उसे एक बार प्रेस कर दो तो उसके आगे नेगेटिव साइन आ जाता है. वो डालने का था पीएमटी का बटन प्रेस कर दो तो 1.25 नेगेटिव एंटर हो जाएगा. एंड सिमिलरली 100 एफवी के आगे भी एक नेगेटिव साइन डाल के 100 एफवी. एंड देन व्हाट यू हैव टू डू इज, आपके कैल्सी में सबसे टॉप लाइन आइटम में जो फर्स्ट कीवर्ड है वो सीपीटी करके आप सीपीटी प्रेस करो और उसके बाद IY प्रेस करो. आई होप आपको भी कैल्सी में आंसर दिखाया होगा 1.5709, करेक्ट? सो IY इज इक्वल टू 1.5709. बेसिकली इट इज नथिंग बट 1.571%. बट अब फिर से एक इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, मैंने आपको प्रीवियस सेशन में एक बात बताई थी कि ये जो आंसर मुझे आया, दिस इज बेसिकली गिवन फॉर द 6 मंथ, एंड हमें क्या करना है, हमें इसे एनालाइज्ड फॉर्म में आंसर में एक्सप्रेस करना है, ठीक है? बिकॉज ऑप्शंस आपके एनालाइज्ड फॉर्म में दिए एग्जाम में. सो व्हाट वी विल डू इज वी विल हैव टू मल्टीप्लाई दिस बाय 2 एंड द आंसर दैट वी गेट इज 3.142%, करेक्ट? दैट इज आवर आंसर. आई होप कैल्सी के इश्यूज रिजॉल्व हो गए होंगे इस सम के साथ. Still, if somebody is not comfortable, just let me know. I'll put probably one more sum on calci, but then I don't think at a personal front it is needed. Okay. Now let us move on to the next LOS. That LOS-B was identifying the relationships between the price of the bond, the coupon rates, the maturities, and the YTM. Correct? I told you we'll be learning the relationships and the sensitivities between these different parameters of the bond. Now let us look at them. We have actually already looked at them, but we'll look at them in a more formal manner. You have the relationship between the bond price and the bond characteristics. First is the bond price is inversely related to the market discount rate. So I'll just write it like this. The bond price going up, the market discount rate going down. This is quite intuitive and logical because how does it work? So let us put the bond price as PV. This is nothing but basically PMT divided by 1 plus R raised to 1 plus PMT divided by 1 plus R raised to 2 As this market discount rate, which is R, it increases, we know that our PV will go down. Very obvious and easy relationship to pick up. Second is, for the same coupon rate and the time to maturity, the percentage price change is greater when the market discount rate goes down than when it goes up. Now let me explain to you what is this about and how does this thing work, because this has not been explained till now. First, let me just write it down. For same coupon rate and time to maturity. So it is basically saying when keeping other factors constant, that is ceteris paribus, the percentage price change is greater when market discount rate goes down than when it goes up. What this is saying is that we know that when the discount rate goes down, our price goes up for the bond. So obviously vice versa, when the discount rate goes up, the price of the bond goes down. But what it is trying to say here is that every time the discount rate goes down, the percentage by which the price goes up is higher than the percentage by which the price goes down when your discount rate goes up. Let me draw a graph. This will be much more clear then. So the graph will be something like this. What is happening here is, let me just pick a point over here, okay, randomly. Now let us say that this is the price of the bond, first thing, and this is the interest rate on the x-axis, on the y-axis. I decrease my interest rate by 1%. Let us assume this is 1%, and I increase it by 1% in the opposite direction. Okay, let us assume these two are same. But now what happens is, you can see in the diagram that the price increase for the rate going down by 1% and the price decrease for increase in interest rate by 1% is not the same. How do you see this? This gap is much bigger than this gap, correct? If you look here, this gap is much bigger than this gap. This is called as convex relationship. So bond prices and interest rates share a convex relationship. What is convex relationship? Let me put forward in terms of numbers. These numbers that I'll be taking need not be mathematically correct. I'm taking it randomly just to explain to you the effect, and the numbers might be a bit exaggerated. Please do not verify it mathematically. Let us say the price of my bond is 100 when my IY is 10%. Now by this phenomena, let us say I have moved my IY to 9% and I have moved my IY to 11%. So when I have moved my IY to 9%, the bond price should increase. So I am saying that, let us say the bond price has gone up to 110. So there is an increase by 10%. But when my IY has increased, that is the interest rate or market discount rate or YTM has increased to 11%, my bond price has gone down only to, let us say, 92. So there is only an 8% decrease, and that is what we can see. When the price is increasing, the price is increasing faster than when it is decreasing. I hope now the convex relationship or the convexity effect is clear to us. I have explained it in all the possible three manners. Okay. Now let us move to the third relationship. For the same time to maturity, the lower coupon bond has a greater percentage change in price than a higher coupon bond when the market interest rate or the discount rate changes by the same amount. Let me write it down first, and even you can write it down with me, and then I'll explain to you. For same time to maturity, lower coupon bond has greater percentage change in price than higher coupon bond when market rate changes by same amount. Let us try to understand, or let us try to imagine this with some numbers. We'll be able to understand it better, what it is trying to say. So we have the same time to maturity and we just need to have two different coupon bonds, okay? Let us say we have 5-year bonds in both the cases. So I'll just draw a timeline. And similarly, you have it here also. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So we have same time to maturity. Now let us say you have a lower coupon bond here. 7, 7, 7, 107. So you have 9, 9, 9, 109. Okay. So we have for same time to maturity. This is the lower coupon bond and this is a higher coupon bond. Both of them have a face value of 100. Now what it is trying to say is that for percentage change in price, there will be a greater change in the lower coupon bond than in the higher coupon bond. So this bond will have some PV. I don't know that PV right now, okay? I'm not going into the maths part. And this bond also will have some PV, correct? Let us put this as PV1 and PV2. What it is trying to say is, let me assume that the PV of this bond is maybe 95. I'm just randomly assuming because I have not even put the market discount rates. And let us say that this PV2 is probably 105. So these are the PVs of the two bonds. It is saying that if, let us say, I decrease my interest rate by 1% for both the cases, so the percentage change in price will be higher for this one. When I say higher for this one, what it means is that let us say this goes up from 95 to 104.5. So that is an increase of how much? 10%. So might be this goes up from 105 to only 115. That is something less than 10%. Correct? Something less than 10%. Sorry. Now, if I compare PV1 and PV2, let us say that the PV1 is 95 and let us say PV2 is 105. I'm randomly assuming because I still don't have the market discount rate. So, obviously, I don't have the PV, but I'm just assuming it for this question to explain to you something. Now, let us say that the interest rates have decreased by 1% in both the cases. So, what I'm trying to say here is कि जो पहला वाला बॉन्ड है उसका प्राइस लेटेस्ट से 95 से 104.5 गया है तो इट हैज इंक्रीज्ड बाय 9.5 व्हिच इज एन इंक्रीज ऑफ 10% इन द बॉन्ड पीवी. तो सेकंड वाला जो बॉन्ड है दैट माइट गो फ्रॉम 105 टू 115. तो उस केस में आप देख रहे हो कि द इंक्रीज इज समवॉट लेस देन 10% एंड दैट इज द प्रॉपर्टी कि इसका जो इंक्रीज परसेंटेज है दैट इज लेसर देन व्हाट इट इज फॉर दिस वन. ओके. And same goes vice versa. If the interest rate would have increased, the decrease in the bond price for this PV1 would be somewhat higher as compared to for the second bond which has the PV2. Why is this happening? Because iska jo coupon hai that is lower than the coupon percentage of the second bond. Okay. I hope the second property is also clear. Let us look at the next property. Generally, for the same coupon rate, a longer term bond has a greater percentage price change than a shorter term bond when the market discount rate changes by the same amount. Again, mathematically इस चीज को प्रूव किया जा सकता है काफी इजीली अगर आप कोई बॉन्ड के वैल्यूज पकड़ो, but intuitively I want to explain to you so that you don't even require numbers and you have a certain pattern in which you can think about it whenever you want to remember it. तो पहले तो प्रॉपर्टी लिख लेते एक बार. Generally, for same coupon rate, longer term bond has greater percentage change than shorter term bond when market discount rate changes by the same amount. Now what this is trying to say here is that the longer term bonds are basically more sensitive to the interest rate changes as compared to the shorter rate bonds. So अगर आप intuitively सोचोगे एक bond के PV का formula मैं इसे एक बार फिर से लिख देता हूँ. It is PMT by 1 plus R raised to 1 divided by so and say 1 plus R raised to 2 up to 1 plus R raised to N. So one thing you can see is that as the bond goes longer and longer, the power in the denominator is increasing. So power in the denominator is increasing. What it means is that the effect of this percentage is magnified. So intuitively you can just remember it as the longer term bond it is, the higher will be the value of NB, and the higher is the value of N, the greater would be the effect of the percentage change that we could see in the price of the bond. That is, the greater would be the sensitivity of the bond's price to the change in the bond's interest rate. Okay, so I think we have covered all the properties. Obviously one basic property that I did not even bother mentioning was that अगर एक बॉन्ड का जो कूपन रेट है वो उसके YTM से ज्यादा है, दैट इज उसके मार्केट डिस्काउंट रेट से ज्यादा है, तो बॉन्ड इज ट्रेडिंग एट अ प्रीमियम टू पार वैल्यू, एंड इफ इट इज लेस देन टू द YTM देन इट इज ट्रेडिंग एट अ डिस्काउंट टू द पार वैल्यू. Obviously, I did not want to put forward this across as a property because this is something which is very obvious जो हमें पता ही है. And first वाली property क्या थी कि decrease in the bonds YTM increases its price and increase in the bonds YTM decreases its price. ये दोनों चीजें बहुत ही obvious है, तो do not try and memorize everything as the properties just for the sake of it, क्योंकि उन्होंने उसको as a property mention किया है. Now there is an interesting observation that I like to write down in front of you and then explain to you that what exactly is happening over here. Okay, so you can probably skip this part and directly come to the part where I have the entire table drawn. I might just take a few seconds to draw this. Okay, तो आप आपके सामने अब एक टेबल रेडी देख रहे हो, ठीक है. उसमें मैंने एक 3-year बॉन्ड लिया है और ये एक सेमी एनुअल कूपन पिंग बॉन्ड है. इसके लिए मैंने उसको 0.5 years के इंटरवल पे जो है डिस्क्राइब किया, ठीक है. So this is 3-year semi-annual coupon pink bond. YTM उसका फर्स्ट केस में 3% लिया है and सेकंड केस में 6% लिया है. Now what is exactly happening over here? Let us look at it. Now when the YTM is 3%, the interest rate of the bond is 6% semi-annual coupon. Okay. तो अब आपके आंखों के सामने आप एक टेबल देख सकते हो जिसमें 3 कॉलम्स है. टाइम टू मेच्योरिटी YTM इक्वल टू 3% एंड YTM इक्वल टू 6% मेंशन किया है, ठीक है. नाउ फर्स्ट थिंग फर्स्ट, मैंने 0.5 years के इंटरवल इसलिए लिए हैं कि दिस इज अ सेमी एनुअल कूपन पेइंग बॉन्ड एंड दिस इज अ 3-year सेमी एनुअल कूपन पेइंग बॉन्ड. तो उसके एन कितना होगा? 6 होगा, ठीक है. अच्छा, सेकेंड थिंग, आई हैव ड्रॉन 2 कॉलम्स. वन इज फॉर YTM इज इक्वल टू 3% एंड सेकेंड इज फॉर YTM इज इक्वल टू 6%. करेक्ट, 3% एंड 6%. नाउ जो हमारा ये जो बॉन्ड है इसका जो कूपन है वो 6% सेमी एनुअल कूपन है, ठीक है. एंड हमारा YTM यहाँ पे कितना है? 3% दिया है. तो ऑब्वियसली ये जो YTM है ये भी अगेन जो है स्टेटेड एनुअली है, तो हमें इसको सेमी एनुअल में कन्वर्ट करना पड़ेगा, विच इज 1.5 लेना पड़ेगा. So that is not the concern in this particular question. Let me explain to you the observations. Now what is happening here is that if you see throughout the maturity of the bond, the YTM has not changed for both the bonds. That is, YTM is kept at 3% and 6% and the coupon payments have not changed. Obviously the FE of the bond hasn't changed, but still if you see carefully, as the time to maturity is changing, the present value of the bond or the price at which the bond is trading is changing in the first case, that is in YTM equal to 3%. Now what is this happening and why is this happening? Now, because the YTM here is 3% and the coupon payment on the bond is 6% semi-annual coupon, so obviously we can see that the coupon payments are greater than the YTM of the bond. That is, the bond is giving you higher coupon than the required rate of return. So the bond is actually trading at a premium to par value at a time point of 3 years to maturity. That is when still 3 years to maturity are left, correct? But eventually, as the bond's maturity approaches, that is, as the bond is about to mature and the principal is to be redeemed, the bond slowly approaches its par value. That is, the bond, after trading at premium, as and as it comes closer to maturity, it approaches its par value. And what happens is, the bond actually follows a constant yield price trajectory to illustrate this change in the price of the bond when nothing changes except for the time to maturity of the bond is changing, leading to change in price, even though the YTM has been constant and the coupon payment is constant. Now let me show to you with the help of a small diagram. Now, when the time to maturity remaining was 3 years, what was the price of the bond in the first case? It was something $1085, correct? But what is happening is, when the time to maturity left is, let us say, 0 years. So when the maturity is approaching, the bond eventually approaches a par value of $1,000. That is, it approaches its par value. So what is happening is, it is following a constant yield price trajectory path. And this constant yield trajectory that it is following, this effect is called as pull to par effect. This is called as pull to par effect. Let me show you the values again. So basically, when 3 years were left, it was trading at $1085.76. Now, at the point where, let us say that here 2.5 years are left, it will be trading at how much? $1057.82, slightly below it. And then eventually 1043.68, 1029.34, and so on, correct? So you can see that the bond price is following a constant trajectory, and this effect is called as pull to par effect. So similarly, if the bond would have been trading at a discount, so when would it be trading at a discount is, let us say the YTM was 12%. In that case, because our coupons are 6%, actually our required coupon payment is less than the YTM, and so the bond would trade at a discount. So the line that would be formed is something like, so now it will be trading at a discount, and eventually what will happen is that as time progresses, it will slowly approach its par value. So again, it is demonstrating a pull to par effect. Whether it is trading at a premium, so धीरे धीरे प्रीमियम कम होता है, और वैसे ही जब इट इज ट्रेडिंग एट डिस्काउंट तो धीरे धीरे उसके जो डिस्काउंट अमाउंट है वो कम होता है, और वो अपनी पार वैल्यू को अप्रोच करता है. एंड तीसरा केस जो सबसे इजी है वो क्या है, ऑलरेडी ट्रेडिंग एट अ पार वैल्यू. तो आप जैसे ऊपर देख सकते हैं कि मैंने एक केस लिया जहाँ पे YTM भी 6% था, हमारा कूपन भी 6% था. तो उस केस में हमारा बॉन्ड वाज ट्रेडिंग एट पार वैल्यू. तो बॉन्ड एक्चुअली एक स्ट्रेट लाइन में ट्रेवल कर रहा है, एंड सो दिस इज अ स्ट्रेट लाइन दैट इज बीइंग मेड. So at all times it is the same value. I hope this is clear. This was the LOS B completed. LOS A हमने लास्ट वीडियो में कर लिया. मैंने आपको कैल्सी के बारे में बता दिया. So now you can do a few sums from the curriculum textbook. Blue box examples है, आप वो भी कर सकते हैं. दूसरा, आपकी जो श्वेजर में थोड़े बहुत कंसेप्ट चेकर्स रहते हैं बीच बीच में मॉड्यूल क्विज नेम से, आप उन्हें भी एक बार ट्राई कर सकते हैं. एंड नाउ यू शुड बी एबल टू मेक ऑल दैट सम्स फॉर मॉड्यूल क्विज 46.1. एंड करिकुलम में जो ब्लू बॉक्स एग्जांपल्स है फर्स्ट टू LOS के, वो भी आप सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. एंड अगर आपको उसमें कोई डाउट हो तो आप लोग कमेंट सेक्शन में डालो. एंड इफ आई फील दैट अ लॉट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स हैव द सेम डाउट, आई विल जस्ट अपलोड अ वीडियो ऑन द सेम. थैंक यू.